Here's my new video. This is a long video this time, and there is a reason for that. So you saw my last video about Epic Mickey and my Dark Mickey to motivate me. So I decided to start an illustration that I wanted to do. The reason for the illustration is because I'm playing Pokemon Go, and if you play it, you know that now we have raids. And I was on a raid, and that was a tyranitar. And we did beat it, and I could not catch it. I had like great throws all the time with golden berries and great throws, and it didn't work out. And so I ended up thinking about this illustration of me or my cartoon me trying to lure that Turnitar with a golden berry. And so I decided to do it more as kind of a real illustration, I would say, meaning by that I would spend more time on it and try to make it look better. Obviously not spend days and days on it, but I guess I had like about 3 hours, a bit more than 3 hours of footage, which is far more than I usually spend. And it's just because I think that to improve my next drawings, I need to see it as a project and not as a one-time activity. So I did this over several days because I'm working full time, and so um, finding the time to sit more than 3 hours at once was not that easy. But I did take more time, and as you could see, this is watercolors. And I decided to do layers. As you can see, I already came back several times on the trees to give it more texture, to mix different colors, and I'm absolutely completely improvising because I'm kind of self-taught while I watch videos and so on. But I mean, I want to use watercolors because this is what I like the best. It's less messy than other paints, it's cheaper than markers, it's easier to mix colors. But I wanted to be able to do details. I mean, I like watercolors, but not always in the more kind of vague way that it's used, where colors mix up together a bit randomly. I know this is the goal of watercolors, but it's not always what I would like to do. I have done it a bit, but I wanted to use watercolors to do more detailed illustrations. So as you can see, I spend a lot of time on the background. I started by the background because I also realized that if I start by the characters, I tend to not invest as much time on the background, which is a mistake. The background is actually very important. It's good to have great characters and so on, but you need to work on backgrounds too. So I started by the backgrounds, and I did all the backgrounds before I even touched the two characters, my cartoon character and Tyranitar. And as you can see, for me it works well because of this. I focus only on the background, therefore I can see more what needs to be done and what can be improved. And I'm not distracted by the characters yet. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's it. Oh, just here I'm cheating a little bit. I'm using white gouache to redo a bit the cloud. So yeah, as I was saying, I started by the background, and I think that's how I should do it. Because at least for now, while I'm still building a process and learning, I think it's the best way for me to work. And so once I finished the background and it looked at least decent, that's when I started the two characters. And so I started to do them with watercolors, and I did put that first layer of kind of flat wash just to kind of block the colors and give me more ideas. and a better vision of what's going on. That's great. I again like watercolors because it gives you that kind of uniform background on which you can build after that. You can build details, and I think that's great. So I did start them like the rest of the illustration with watercolors, but after that I wanted to build more contrast and texture on them. I wanted them to be more visible too, mostly because the background is mostly green because this is woods and tyranitar is green. So I wanted to make them pop a bit more, so I did trace them, you will see, with a black outline, because then they kind of pop out more. And I did start some shading like here with watercolors, but I actually ended up using color pencils to make stronger shadings and stronger details. So in the end I have a purely watercolor background and characters that are mixed with watercolors and colored pencils, and I actually like it. At first I was a bit afraid that it would look weird, so I did add a little bit of color pencils in the background to kind of call back for the characters, but it actually works pretty good. Overall, I don't say I still have a lot to work on and improve, but I am happy with the results because this is the first time that I actually tried to do something with more time and more details, and like it's invest more in it than I would usually do. And so I'm actually happy with it. Probably in some years I will think that it was crappy. Well, let's hope so, because that would mean that I'm better. But for now, I really like it. So I'm happy. And that's something I will try again. Not always on Pokemon, probably. I like drawing Pokemons just because this is very cartoony, and you can kind of create anything you want, and they're funny. But I think that's a good start for a process. Also, as you can see, I did draw a red Pokeball and also a golden raspberry. For the golden raspberry, I thought that it needs to pop out more, just to show that it's actually a raspberry and it's not a regular raspberry. This is the one that we use and we get in reds. And so I did put around it some pastels. And so I could create some kind of halo a little bit around it. And I think it works. At least for people who play Pokemon Go and know what that is, I think they will understand. And I made the red Pokeball, white with that red outline and the little round red, not like a regular Pokeball. So this was really a memory of my red, where I was kind of frustrated to not catch that tyranitar. So anyway, that's clearly a longer video. I thought that I could share the whole process for people who are interested in it, else you would probably have jumped from the beginning to the end. Let me know if you like that format. Not that there are many people on that channel, but if there are some, I hope you like it, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!